I can't believe it.
Huh? Did we miss?
She doesn't like to travel, so in the past, it's always been the other adept. True. Now that I think about it, since she's not here...
Uh-oh. Got it! Paimon?
Please go on.
Our goal here is to find the adept. We can't hear any music, right?
Yes, I think that's fair to say.
So, all we have to do is get... You know perfectly well that Paimon can't swim. Paimon would sink like a rock. Just trust Paimon. The water's pretty deep over there. Quick.
What is going on?
How do you feel right now? Shenhe!
Why don't you say something? Okay, fine. Paimon, we're looking for an Adeptus who's good at being a lifeguard, but if the Adepti aren't gonna stay home, then...
It wasn't me.
Yeah, so this Adeptus is...
And I am not an Adeptus, as you both already know, Traveler and...
Okay, so this is Paimon. No way Paimon would have suggested this idea if she'd known how awkward this was gonna be.
Glad you're okay. As far as I know, the one you seek is no Yaksha. Your actions here caused others a great deal of worry.
As ever, the conqueror of demons comes and goes. Right. How's your training going, Shenhe? I had planned to spend the... Oh, speaking of Cloud Retainer, earlier this morning, she set off. I noticed she was using an Adeptus art of some kind. So we just missed her. Please excuse me for a moment. I think... Sure. Thank you.
It sounds like Ganyu and Shenhe have...
Yes. During the summer and winter, I continued to train with Ganyu arranged accommodations for me in the city. But when I try to blend in by referring to her as Miss Ganyu... Sometimes I'm supposed to copy other people. Sometimes I'm not. It's a little difficult to... So, you came looking for Master today?
Yep. Oh, speaking of that, have you...
Music?
It's...
Okay, I'm done. I also left her a note so that she knows where to find us.
Yay! That's...
We were just talking about this thing called music, and based on
Oh, really?
This is the place. I enjoy training here to the sound of music.
Oh no! Paimon's gone deaf! Paimon can't hear anything! Oh, whew! Paimon hasn't gone deaf after all?
The faint sound of birdsong.
Okay, fine. It's all Paimon's fault. Whoop.
And a melody is... Huh?
Hey, why don't you just Shenhe's heard before.
Oh, was that from the opera that Yoonjin's?
That was a melody, and melodies...
It felt... We're all there as I watched Yoonjin's perform. When you hummed that melody just now, feelings from a whole...
Wow, Shen. Music definitely has the power to bring up memories. It's like... What about you, Ganyu? Are there any melodies that have left a deep impression?
I don't remember. I know some local folk songs. The songs of the sailors down at the docks. Yes, that's right. In the past, whenever I heard the sound of Nenny and Leo, probably view me as a non-human. And they are right, in the sense that I never could connect with humans' artistic expression and their sentiments. So at least, that's the view I held in the past. Only more recently did I start to realize that the way those melodies make me feel isn't all that different from other people after all. They're about mundane details of everyday existence. Life's ups and downs, joys and sorrows. Even though we come in that sense...
You go?
Yes, technically. Thank you. Once the days are warm, I've planted many times. You... Nonsense. I have cultivated and I will save some for decoration. We can feast then. Do people say that?
It doesn't matter, okay? You got the point across. No need to split hairs. Paimon's more concerned about your idea of a girls' night out. Eating...
Who dares refer to one not by one's Adeptus title, but merely...
Master. Our greetings, Cloud Retainer.
Ah! There it is!
Double humph. Now she has the gall to use it, rather than... One has received your message from Ganyu. Well, shall one lead the way?
I still have to complete my training for today, so I will bid farewell to everyone here.
Very well. Await my arrival at one's abode later this night. On this special occasion, you should indulge yourself with some savory dish.
If you want to release a Shao Lantern... Thank you, everyone.
A shield is not enough.
Is this... Quaily playing Cloud Retainer? Why did you...
Ganyu is of course familiar with the name Guizhong, but have you ever heard of... Guizhong is another name of Agentis. Long ago, Sea Gazer would always bring...
Paimon remembers that name.
He was an old friend and once he had brought out the treasure, it would predictably become As Adepti, we were each gifted in our own ways. And naturally, his treasures were not even of his own making.
Cloud Retainer, you are getting competitive again.
One digresses. Regardless, every time...
What kind of nonsense?
No kind of nonsense were we spared. Sometimes she would break... She always sought to make everyone happy. It also helped that she never referred to one as that illuminated bird. Anyway, just as our impassioned arguments, who would dare snub the stove god and his wondrous creation? Back then, One was always bothered by how the cups Rex Lapis brought were always too square for one's taste. Can you see yourselves ever enjoying a drink from a square cup? Precisely. So, as you can see, even one could never find fault with Marchosius's cooking. Each of those old fossils had their character flaws and points of we would drink together from a spot high in the mountains until the moon set and the sun. Streetwood Rambler would often remain to admire the flowers with Guizhong.
Streetward Rambler?
That would be Ping. You probably know her as Madam Ping.
Oh, okay. Wait, or are you saying that it was...
Alas, long has one avoided this place for precisely that reason. The sights here, one should have guessed that you would disrupt one's poignant moment of mourning with your incessant questioning. No matter, one will share the whole story with you now.
In times gone by, one quarreled oft with Guizhong concerning mechanical principles. We each had our ideals, and neither would yield. Under the pretext of a social gathering, one invited the impartial Rex Lapis to judge the quality of our creations. But Rex Lapis declared that Guizhong's Obscuro Vulpus mechanism was superior. Though one was too proud to acknowledge it, in one's heart, one knew that Guizhong was indeed the superior talent in the mechanical arts. As for the story between Guizhong and Streetward Rambler, that begins with a certain bell. In Guizhong's opinion, while mechanisms were no substitute for human composers, they were yet capable of producing simple but fine melodies. But Streetward Rambler believed music to be an expression of the soul, an emotional enterprise that could never hope to be replicated by machinery. They argued endlessly, until one asked Rex Lapis to intercede. He confiscated the bell and designated it for ceremonial use. Thereafter, one would often find them convening in the mountains, discussing music, mechanics, and all the affairs of the mortal world. But these good times were not to last. War broke out between the gods, and soon engulfed the Guili Plains. Guizhong was overpowered by the enemy, and fell in battle. When Streetwood Rambler and I arrived at the scene at long last, all that remained among the ruins was her lifeless body. After this, at Streetwood Rambler's request, Rex Lapis granted her the cleansing bell for safekeeping. To honor our friend's memory, one made a few finishing touches to her ballistic device. Many lantern rites have passed since then. Many greetings and goodbyes. Upon what do you gaze? The Guili Plains?
No, it's everything. We think of human life as like a lantern that's lit one minute and extinguished the next. But are we Adepti so different? Perhaps as dust settles after a storm, we too must one day return to the world below.
One has always been austere and private by nature, and has never relished socializing. One's dealings with Guizhong.
What? You have loads of friends, and you seem pretty...
Just because one is not ignorant of social graces does not mean one is fond of them. One is perfectly capable of partaking, but in the end, one is nothing like Streetwood Rambler. She is dauntless but thoughtful. Back when they were rivals, they would often compete against one another in the realm of music. That cleansing bell was one of Guizhong's proudest works, having the ability to both compose.
Wait, that's weird. Didn't Madam Ping say she pestered an old friend for that bell? And she also said something about being a vain beauty when she was young or something.
Streetward Rambler, a vain beauty. My foot. That bell has a sad history. Clearly, as for her old friend, who else could it be? As soon as Streetward Rambler heard that a certain Zhang Li wished to borrow the bell, she realized that the man was none other than Rex Lap. After all, we all have known each other for several millennia.
Whoa! So they were talking in secret code? Oh, Paimon did not.
Enough of your intrusions. The cleansing bell is powered by a mechanical art and can be used to great effect, but Streetward Rambler did not acquire it from Rex Lapis for the purpose of producing further funeral. The two once clashed over their beliefs about the meaning of music. Who would have thought? Once upon a time, Streetward Rambler also loved gatherings, liquor, and music. The music would go from mournful to soothing to impassioned. Many years passed before she finally composed a melody to her satisfaction. In celebration, she played the tune to the cloud, which brings one back to the matter you've been investigating. Perhaps it was during that performance that the ancestor of your Fontaine friend fell into the water.
But if she was so happy with the melody, why would she only play it once?
One was also greatly perplexed by this. After suppressing one's curiosity for a long while, one finally approached her and asked what. In response, she said, "Though the strings that played that melody survive, the one who inspired it is gone. Tell me, Cloud Retainer, when the one attuned to my soul is no longer here, who else?"
Aw, poor Madame Ping.
I just remember being taken care of by you when I was young. Once the Archon War came to an end, although I met Guizhang a few times, I never knew any.
Guizhang was quite the visionary, but tragically passed before her time. Her manuscripts still lie unfinished in the realm of clouds. Had you not decided to search for that mystery Adeptus, perhaps these stories too. As of now, you know the truth. That the Adeptus who rescued the drowning man was none other than... Do you intend to discuss this with her?
Do you mean Ping might find the topic too distressing?
Precisely. The passing of our old friend is a heavy topic that both of us are you...
If I may be so bold, Cloud Retainer,
Oh? How so?
I've been in Lea Harbor for quite a long time now, and I've witnessed many farewells along the way, but this doesn't bring the city or its people to us. Someone as perceptive and wise as Ping will surely have come to though these immortal mountains have lost an Adeptus, no loss can ever be undone. But Ping has helped countless people, and will guide many others, though it is heartbreaking to lose a kindred spirit. Life goes on.
We even asked Madame Ping what she thought about adding a music festival to this. When we get back, why don't we just ask her?
You youngsters and your
Why don't you come with us? It's been a long time since you last spoke with Ping, and
Is not every lantern rite the same in this regard? Were there ever anything new to discuss?
I disagree. Each new day and each new year is different from those that have come before. How long?
The edibles she brought... Very well. Then one will be off. If the other old fossils have sneaked away into the city to amuse themselves, one shall soon find out.
All right. We should be getting back to the harbor as well. Once the Guili Assembly, now the Guili Plains. Say, if we planted flowers there...
Allow one to take back one's praise from a moment prior.
What? Cloud Retainer? You...
One observed that you were making no effort to leave, and returned to chasten and hasten you. This time...